Some of you may have seen that scene from Malcolm in the Middle, where Hal gets home from work, goes to turn the light on, the light doesn't turn on, goes to get a new light bulb, shelf falls off. So he grabs a screwdriver to fix the shelf and he notices his drawer is squeaking. So he gets the WD-40 to fix the squeak and he's all out. Gets in the car to go get more WD-40, to fix the squeaky drawer, to fix the shelf, to change the light bulb, and his car doesn't start. The scene ends with him underneath his car, with the motor out on a crane. His wife gets home, asks him, hey, can you change the light bulb in the kitchen? And he yells, what does it look like I'm doing? And of course, now's the time my neighbors get home. So some of you may recognize this locomotive. It's my SD7 that I was cleaning in the last video. And you may have noticed that not a lot of this dirt came off last time. And I figured out the reason why. I believe I've mentioned before, but this is a lifelike with TCS decoder in it. We'll get to that. Some of you probably already know where this is going. Yeah, the gears are completely shredded. They're not as bad as they were. Like, the other night I could just freely spin these two wheels. But they are pretty loose. So I'm going to have to take these apart, make sure that that's the actual problem, and order new ones. I haven't confirmed yet because I figured that'd be more fun if we did that together. This one should work. I've never done this before. So let's have a look, shall we? Let me pop these covers off somehow. I believe this guy? Maybe. Right, so I had to take the whole thing apart in order to get this thing off. And, looking at it, these gears feel pretty good. As do these ones. I can't see anything wrong with these ones other than I don't think they're quite the type I was looking for replacements. So that might be something I have to look into. They feel pretty well on there to me, which doesn't suggest they're cracked or anything. What do I know, I guess. And, this is the rear one. Yeah, this is the one that's supposed to be the most broken. I don't know. I'll replace them anyway. I'll get some grease. Put that on there too. Probably clean the wheels while they're off. Let's look at the front ones, I guess. So I think I've isolated the problem. It's not at all what I was expecting. So if I put this guy here, and, not drop it, you can see that it, sits off to the side, if it can focus. I guess not. Maybe? Please? Come on, there we go. You can see it can actually move far enough over where it no longer meshes with these gears. Because each of these have a little bit of play in them. And especially these guys, they have a lot of play in them. So I'm thinking all I really need are like some washers or some spacers of some sort to keep these in the channel. And that should solve my problem. Unfortunately, I don't have those things and I don't know what size they are, so I can't get to that this week. But I do have a different kind of washer for a different kind of project. And we'll get to that now. I just realized these aren't even the original gears. Look at this. You look at this. they're not the same, not by a long shot. So I think I am just going to order the Athearn ones. I guess this locomotive already had this problem, and whoever did it did kind of a half-assed fix. Which makes sense, considering how they wired the headlight to the decoder. Let's see here. Yeah, these black wires here. Let's see, there's a snot ball of solder. There's another one. Focus. Focus. There's another one hidden under some electrical tape. Even though there are places right here where you can do that without even solder. There's supposed to be more of these rubber boots you can put over it. So yeah, I'm debating getting a new decoder for this. And speaking of decoders, which I forgot to mention earlier, is because I've got some decoders here with 8-pin plugs, which this has, that are going in these F units. I don't know why there's glasses in there. I don't wear glasses. And the reason I'm doing this is so this thing actually works when I test these decoders and see if they're actually any good, or mostly if they sound good, because this is a project for my dad's, let me think, 58th birthday. He turns 64 this year, so it's a bit behind schedule. Maybe it'll be a retirement present, I don't know. What I've got here is some old blue box units. I got some varnish shells, which I need to strip and redo because I was an idiot and didn't put primer on them. I've got like a whole bunch of detail parts and other stuff. And these are going to go in there at some point. Maybe, if I get around to it. But anyway, let's end this episode on me actually fixing something. So here we got my Scale Trains SDL39. The coupler droop issue. I've taken the front coupler screw out already. You see, if I can just shimmy a couple of M1.6 washers. This thing really does not like close-ups, my damn. There's a hole kind of in here. Can't really see it because I don't have a good enough camera. But there's just a little tiny gap between where the coupler box screws into the shell and a little bit of plastic on the pallet that goes under it. Oh, there you go. That's a good angle. There's a gap in there, so I can go see if I can shimmy a couple in there without having to take the shell off. Two. Okay, we got the front two jammed in there. See if I can get the angle right on this. I'm pretty sure it's that blurry speck, like right in the middle there. God damn, there we go. Yeah, you can see the two is kind of stacked on top of each other. I'll tighten this guy back in, then move on to the back one. Sorry I can't film this, but it's, as you can imagine, it's incredibly finicky. Like, here is my thumb for scale. Unfortunately, I don't have any bananas right now, so that'll have to do. Alright, and there is the rear one. Hang on. Better angle, there you go. You can kind of see him in there. So, all that's left is to put the rear coupler back on. That should be it. So for those of you who've been wondering, if this job is possible without removing the shell, the answer is yes. Honestly, it's not difficult, it's just, tedious. Because these things are just, absolutely tiny. Get yourself a good pair of tweezers, This is not a good pair of tweezers, but I made it work. And you should be set. And with that, couplers are right as rain. Not the couplers, the pilots. I mean, I guess the couplers are too, but, we're not worried about those. I do have a few more thoughts since I found this. One, I've noticed there's a missing grab iron on the winterization hatch. That's so small I can't even show it off on camera properly. The other is my winterization hatch is a wee bit crooked. I think you can kind of see, it looks like it's bowing up on this end. I think that's kind of an optical illusion. It's the fact that it's crooked that's causing that. I hope. And the other one that I've noticed, which no one else seems to be talking about, but I think is a bigger issue than all of these, is the FOPASA units. So I'll put an image up on there. Image courtesy of Diego Gonzalez. You'll notice the FOPASA units, it's sitting on the rails, right? Should be completely normal. But FOPASA uses a 5-foot 6-inch gauge, which means they should not be able to sit on regular standard gauge rail. And I don't know the state of the hobby down in South America. Maybe everyone uses, standard gauge just because it's easier. But if you're going for museum quality, if you're looking to get every last detail right, this seems like a massive oversight, if you ask me. Because, people don't run narrow gauge steam on standard gauge track, really. I don't think that's a thing. So I don't see why this would be, or should be, any different. But anyway, I've got one more project to do. Then we'll call it quits for the week. I'm just sharing my thoughts, I guess just griping some more, because that's what people do best. I lied, I guess I'm ending it on that note, because, these are quite clearly too small for this screw. And also the body popped off, so I'm going to have to fix that at some point. So this is kind of a downer of a week, honestly. I'm sure there'll be progress, but still wish I could have gotten more done. Anyway, if you liked it, like it. If you want to see more, subscribe. You know what to do. You've all been using YouTube for probably about as long as I have. I am actually older than YouTube, in case anyone's curious about that, which is weird. But still, it's not like this is a hard website to do. Do the things. You know how to do them.